Loading. What is up, guys? It's Pedro here, and I'm here with a special guest, Street Scores Rico. Make sure you guys check him out. Great Washington football team YouTuber. And yes, sorry I'm late. Had some technology issues, but we're working on that. But yeah, in today's stream, we'll have Rico here until about 7 o'clock. We'll be talking about the draft, maybe some remaining holes in free agency that we need to Phil, and kind of the main topic of today. We usually just talk about the draft and stuff, but today specifically, we're gonna go through some mid-round guys at the quarterback position. Rounds 2 through 4 that we could target. So, how you doing, Rico?
I'm good. First of all, I wanted to say hello to everybody in the chat. See a lot of familiar faces. Glad to be on the show. My boy Pedro channel growing, love it. And thanks for having me, man. I'm excited.
Yep, no problem. So, yeah, let's say hi to some people in the chat. What's up, Randy? What's up, Hassan? Always in here. What's up, Tyler? What's up, Brutal? Yeah, again, appreciate you guys for coming in. And so, like I said, we're going to be talking about the draft. We might even do a mock draft or two. What's up, Justin? What's up, DA? One Mar. What's up, No Heart? What's up, Woody? Okay, so let's go ahead and kind of talk about the quarterback position. I know most people know where you stand, but what is your take on what Washington should do at the quarterback position this year in the draft, or maybe even next year?
All right, so I mean, there's a lot of options out there. I believe Justin in the chat is the one that put me on to the idea that maybe we may be a great free agent option for Aaron Rodgers in next free agency. If you just look at our roster up and down, especially in comparison to the Packers, and then their ties are, it just gets uglier and uglier every year. Watch them this year draft another quarterback in the first round just to disrespect them even more. So I do feel like Aaron Rodgers will leave, and I hope they were one of those top candidates. But just assuming that that may be pretty unrealistic, but I don't think this is impossible as a lot of people may think. You know me, I'm team trade up for quarterback. Lance has been my guy for forever. I'm also very high on Fields and Wilson. So any of those top 4 guys, I would love to have them. I don't like the Fields to Haskins or any other Ohio State quarterback comparisons. I believe Lance is nowhere near as raw as people make him out to be. And then don't get me wrong, I don't think Mac Jones is going to be bad. I just think he has a certain ceiling to him. And I really don't want a quarterback with the ceiling, because y'all know me. If anybody knows my channel, winning a division doesn't really mean much to me. If it's not a Super Bowl, I'm disappointed in the season. So I want to potentially get a quarterback that can take us to the next level rather than our team supporting the quarterback. I want a quarterback to lead our team and make everybody around us better. My main point has always been, like, if you look at the other teams, you look at it like you analyze the Bills. We have a better defense. You can argue our offensive line are about even. Maybe we may even have a slightly better one. If you're talking about the 2020 Bills receiving core versus our 2021 receiving core, I feel like we have the better receiving core overall. It's just like, it's teams that are better than ours. And it's not even because they just have fewer holes or better players overall. They're just being led by great quarterbacks. Same thing with the Chiefs. The Chiefs' offensive line, we saw how terrible they were. Our defense is clearly better than theirs. They just have Pat Mahomes. And you can go down the list, the Saints, everybody. You can go up and down the list and look at all of these different teams that aren't. If you take away quarterback, we're better than the vast majority of NFL teams. Quarterback is just holding us back. So I feel like if we address that well, then I think we'll be straight. And again, I'm a Lance guy, but at the end of the day, I trust Ron Rivera. He hasn't led us wrong yet. So if he feels like he doesn't like Lance and feels like somebody else is the guy, go and get that guy. I'm gonna support it no matter who we take, because I'm gonna know deep in my heart that they really love this guy and they put in the work to really, project how he will play for us.
Yeah, and I agree on most of your points there. What's up, Reggie Reg? Always in here. What's up, AM Hunter? Appreciate you coming through. So, here's the only thing at this point. I think it's too late to trade up, because here's the thing. And even honestly, just in general, because you look at what the 49ers had to give up to go from 12, you include this year's first and a third round pick to move up 9 spots. So I couldn't even imagine what it would, what it would take or what it would have taken for us to go from 19 all the way to 3. Like, I don't know if we had the draft capital to give up to do that, because it
Yeah.
probably would have been like 4 first round picks, because if the Niners had to give up 3 first and a third to move up 9 spots, for us to move up 16 spots, that's going to take probably 4 firsts, and you can't even trade 4 firsts in the NFL, or at least you can't. You can only trade 3 of your own first round picks. So we would have had to throw in maybe a couple seconds and maybe even like a player. So this year, just because we did win the division, it was always going to be hard to do that, even with like 5 really good good quarterbacks this year. I think it would have been tough to do. But we could always go a mid-round guy, or also maybe let's say we trade back from 19 to 27 and we accumulate some draft picks for next year. So let's say we get that first round pick this year, but we also get maybe a future second and a future third, and we can use that for next year. Maybe we're in the same situation. Maybe we're drafting 19th overall, and we can use that to trade up and next year, because you might say, people always say, oh, well, next year's class isn't going to be good. Well, it probably won't be as good as this year, but you never know. There's always guys that pop off out of nowhere.
Joe
Mac
Burrow,
Jones, Joe Burrow,
yeah,
and
Zach
also,
Wilson.
yeah, exactly. And you got to think about it. 5 teams are going to be drafting a quarterback probably in the top 10. 5. There's almost 100% chance that those teams are not going to be drafting a quarterback the next year. And those 5 teams, most of them, the Jets, the Jaguars, maybe the Falcons, a couple other teams, they're still going to struggle next year. So they might be drafting up there, but they're not going to be taking a quarterback. So next year, there might be less elite quarterback talent, but there's also going to be less QB needy teams, in my opinion. So I think next year, even though we'll be drafting around the same spot if we do win the division, I think, we'll be in a good situation to trade up next year. What do you think about that?
I mean, I'm one of those people that's not entirely too confident in the next quarterback class, but at the same time, like we were just talking about, you never know what's gonna happen. There might be a guy that I like even more than I like Lance in the next draft. We really don't know yet. So, but I definitely agree with the thought process of there will be way less needy QB needy teams next draft. So, with assuming that we will win the division. We'll probably be picking 19 or maybe even higher if we don't barely just, scrape and crawl into the division victory. If we actually like win the division with like 9 or more wins, we'll probably be picking somewhere in the 20s. And I definitely feel like we like you said, there's a better chance that we could trade up just off the fact there's going to be less QB needy teams. And then like you may not even have to trade up as high because the QB talent may not be as elite, so a lot of teams won't feel like they're gonna charge a ransom maybe like they would this draft. So I mean, it's a whole lot of give or take. Like I mean, how many teams are QB needy, but how many quarterbacks will be worth trading up for and things like that. It's one of those things where only the future will tell. And I do like the thought process though that that there may be a better opportunity, like just cost and price wise, to move up next year than this year.
Yeah, and if you guys saw those 2 icons, I was just switching my computer real quick. So let's talk about some mid-round guys, because there's been reporting, John Keim has said he thinks we are going to draft a guy in the 2nd or 3rd round. JP Finley kind of agrees. And let me say hi to some people. What's up, Meest? What's up, Guzman? What's up, Washington's round table of football? Appreciate you guys coming through. So I do think drafting a quarterback in the mid rounds is not a bad idea if you really like a guy. That's the thing. you should not draft a guy in the third, fourth round if you think, oh, he can be a good backup. No, there's no reason for that, especially for us, because we got two really good backups in Kyle Allen. So there's really no reason to do that. Real quick, we got a $20 donation from my guy Woody.
Hey.
Appreciate the $20 donation. Congrats on 5K. Hype for the draft, man. I really appreciate it, Woody. Thanks so much for the donation. Woody's my guy. And yep, just hit 5K. I'm appreciate all of you guys for the support.
Congratulations.
And yep, we are hyped for the draft, and we're gonna have a lot of draft content coming out. Again, Woody, appreciate the donation. So what is your favorite mid-round guy?
If I had to pick a guy, it may be Mon. I'm not very high on any of them. Like normally in a draft, I think the top guys that everybody consider top are overrated, and I normally like a lot of sleepers later. This draft is the complete reverse of that. But if I had to pick a guy, it'll probably be Kellen Mond. I'm not very high on Davis Mills like a lot of people are. Even as a Georgia Bulldog fan that was excited to finally replace Jake Fromm, and Jamie Newman was like, yes, finally somebody that's at least somewhat mobile. I'm still not very high on him for my burgundy and gold. But you never know, the potential may be there. I'm trying to, and in Kyle Trask, I'm not very high on him as well. So if I had to pick any of the guys, it's probably Kellen Mond or Jamie Newman.
Yeah, I mean, I am a Davis Mills fan. There's obviously some pros and cons with him, and again, Woody, appreciate the support. But the thing with Davis Mills is he's nowhere near ready to start. Like he definitely is a project. He only has 11 total starts in college, partially because of injuries. Also, Pac-12 only played like Stanford only played like 5 games this year, so that's partly not his fault. Kind of the same situation that Trey Lance was in. He didn't have control in that. But I like the traits in Davis Mills. Super smart, really smooth feet, and he's got really good anticipation. You know, that is what you want to see. He has the traits that are a little bit, some issues with him. But if you can get him in the third round, wherever his range is going to be, some people are saying second, some people are saying fourth. Wherever that is, I would take a flyer on him. You're gonna have to develop him properly though. You're not gonna want to play him, in his first year. I think sitting behind Fitzpatrick would be a good idea. I like his potential. Also, good good reminder, Asan. He ran a 4.5 40-yard dash. Like that, he only had like 50 rushing yards last year, but that's partly because of Stanford's, offense, but he is actually way quicker than people think. He's really quick in the pocket. So and you got to take those 40-yard times with a grain of salt, but he's still pretty quick.
It can't be too far from that. Yeah, like it can't be too bad.
Quick for a quarterback. Like I'm not buying that Mac Jones ran a 4.8 40, but like, you know what I mean? He's still pretty quick. Davis Mills is still pretty quick for a quarterback, and I would not mind taking him in the third-ish round. Kellen Mond, haven't done much research with him. I don't know. Kellen Mond, he has some good potential. He is a dual threat quarterback. I personally, from what I've seen, I'd rather have Mills, but still got to do some more research on Mond. Kyle Trask, and that's the guy that they're most interested in, according to Kime. But I don't know. He just he seems like he's probably the most NFL ready out of any of the second tier guys. But there's really no ceiling with him. I mean, there is a ceiling with him. There's really no potential, is what I meant to say. In my opinion, he doesn't have huge potential. Doesn't have amazing arm strength. Really, really slow in the pocket. So I don't know. Kyle Trask does not really intrigue me. It wouldn't be the end of the world if we drafted him in the third. I'm not drafting him in the second. No way. If we draft him in the third, then I'm okay with it. I wouldn't be happy, but I would be. Yeah. What do you think about Trask versus Mills?
Whew. Please no. I think Kyle Trask is one of those like worst case scenarios for me. You know me, like even regardless of position, I'm take the guy with the higher ceiling. We pay our coaches millions of dollars a year, and that's what they're supposed to do, develop players. So I'm gonna take the guy with the higher ceiling and let our coaches do their job. And Kyle Trask is basically the opposite of that. And yeah, that'll be a fairly nightmarish scenario. Because I mean, and at the end of the day, if you take a Kyle Trask, is he even gonna make the team? Like, who do you kick off? Because you can't. I just don't see you kicking off Taylor Heineke unless he sustains some ridiculous injury in training camp. Ryan Fitzpatrick is the assumed starter. I believe it. If anything, Kyle Allen is the odd man looking in, on the outside looking in. But they're talking about Steven Montez possibly playing a Taysom Hill role. So at this point, you bring in Kyle Trask, we have 5 quarterbacks. You're going to have to cut at least 2 of them. And I just don't see like what would be the purpose of bringing in a Kyle Trask unless you're in a situation where you don't have a Ryan Fitzpatrick or a Taylor Heineke. You need your rookie quarterback to start immediately. Like you said, high floor, low ceiling. It just doesn't seem like we're the right situation for that. We already have 2 quarterbacks that can play this year. And what do you have a guy with a low ceiling on the back end learning and progressing for if he doesn't have that much room to grow anyway?
Yeah. Let me say hi to some people in the chat. What's up, Philip B? What's up, Armin Brown? What's up, James from England? So I want to actually, a lot of if you guys have put it in the chat, but I want you guys in the chat to let's do this. Put your order of your top 3 guys to draft in the 2nd to 4th round. So, Kellen Mond, Kyle Trask, Davis Mills, Jamie Newman, any of those guys, go ahead and put that in the chat. My guy is probably Davis Mills. I'm not like in love with any of these guys, but I think that in the right situation, Mills, if you sit him a year, I think he could be one of those guys that is a solid NFL starter, like has potential to be an NFL starter and more, like possibly be a pretty good quarterback in the NFL. Because we don't want to aim for a below average starter in the 3rd round or even an average starter. Like Rico always preaches, like you don't want to have an average team. Like getting 9 wins every season doesn't do you much. It definitely beats winning 5 games every year and not really doing much with it. But I kind of agree with Rico, but I think Mills has that potential. Daniel Jeremiah and Jim Nagy, both former NFL scouts, said that that's their favorite guy. Like they have him ranked as their 6th quarterback on the board, and that's above Kyle Trask, above Kellen Mond, above any of these guys. So, that Davis Mills is my guy. Let me read what people have to say. Okay. So we got a bunch of comments. So Christian said Mond, Mills, and Trask. Randy Mills, Mond, Trask, Mond, Mills, Newman, Mills, Newman, Trask. Eric says Mond, and then Mond. A couple other people said Mond. So there's a lot of Kellen Mond fans. Mills is usually the 1st or 2nd guy here. Mond's probably the favorite, I think. Yeah. Okay, someone was asking me to go to for the mock draft PFN. I think I've done that before. I'll look at it. Let's see. Carrie Williamson, I appreciate the $2 donation. Says we have our quarterbacks from now. QB will come, build team. And yeah, I mean, we have Ryan Fitzpatrick, who's going to be our starter this year. You got Taylor Heineke, and you got Kyle Allen, who both can play as well as, starters / backups. If someone goes down, they can play. So if you don't really like a guy this year in those mid rounds, you don't want to draft a guy because you're going to have to cut Kyle Allen or Taylor Heineke. So if I'm them, if you really like a guy, go ahead and take him in the 2nd, 3rd, or 4th round. If you think they can be an above average starter or better, then take him. But if there's not a guy you like that can do that, then go ahead, get a tight end, get a linebacker, whatever with that pick. Again, appreciate that donation. So yeah, we'll see. And yeah, that thing about Steve Montez was interesting. I don't think he's going to make the team. I think he's probably going to be a practice squad guy that, maybe eventually he gets on the roster. Like, they can protect the players for a couple weeks without actually having them. Like, if you're on the practice squad, what they did with Cam Sims in the beginning of the year, they just every week they called him up for the first 2 or 3 weeks of the season with to the active roster. So they didn't have to waste a roster spot on him. So that's probably what they'll do with Steven Montez if he does develop into somewhat, solid, whatever that Taysom Hill role is, because he's not necessarily going to be Taysom Hill, but he might be able to do some of the things that Hill does as a quarterback. So your guys, Kellen Mond, if you would have to draft one, it would be Kellen Mond in the mid rounds.
Yeah, probably so. But I mean, I agree with you. If it only takes somebody if you love them, because I feel like, I mean, I'm not really high on any of these guys like that, and I feel like second or third round, best player available will probably be at another position: offensive line, linebacker, safety, receiver, things like that. So only take one of those guys if you really like. You see the traits in them. Scott Turner, Rivera, everybody sees like, okay, if we do this and that, let him sit for a year. By the next year, he can be our guy. Other than that, I feel like best player available with those picks will more than likely be at other positions.
Yeah, so we'll go ahead and do a draft on the Draft Network, and then we'll switch over to PFN. We'll see how that is. So we'll go ahead and do this one kind of chill, really nothing much, but we'll kind of let the chat interact. Let's see. How many rounds you guys want to do? I don't want necessarily do 7 rounds. Let's go ahead. We'll do 4 rounds. 4 rounds, I think. 4 rounds. And yeah, I got to do some more research on Jamie Newman. I kind of got turned off after I saw him in that Senior Bowl game. It was terrible. It was not good at all. So we'll see. I'll watch some tape, but that was like, and he didn't play for a full year, so it is kind of understandable, but at the same time, he just kept on taking sacks, and it was like, come on, man. It was just awful. Okay, so we're going to do 4. Some people asking for 5. We'll do 4. We might switch over to 5. Okay, well, Justin Fields is available here, but hey, you know what? We might as well switch to Pro Football Network because he's not going to be available here at 19. We'll go ahead and take that person's advice.
That was the last straw.
We'll switch over. We'll see how it is. I've used them before, and honestly, I thought their boards were a little, I don't know. There was like some really good guys getting available later, but we'll try it. We'll see who's available for us at 19. We'll reject these trades right here. Okay, so right now on the board, yeah, if Justin Fields is available there, we would 100%, no doubt, take Justin Fields. I mean, he's going to go in the top 10, though. I mean, there's been a lot of rumors about him, but he's going to go in the top 10. He's going to go in the top 10. So right here, very interesting board for us right here. Very interesting board. So Devontae Smith is on the board. Caleb, and a lot of people might look at that and be like, wow, that is very unrealistic. But Devontae Smith I don't think he's going to be there, but there's definitely a possibility. He's there at 19 or around there. Caleb Farley is a beast, but he might fall because of his back issue. He also had like a ACL injury in college, so that kind of 2 red flags right there.
And Smith had injuries, and I think a lot of teams are worried about his 180-pound weigh-in. So I think it's possible that teams are like, man, I'm gonna take the more surefire guy, Jamar Chase. I mean, Jalen Waddle's coming off of a big injury, but he's not 180 or less. I mean, even Rashad Bateman, somebody may reach on him just off of we know what we're gonna get. Whereas Devonta Smith, you're afraid he may get hurt.
Yeah. Okay. This might be an unpopular opinion. And by the way, guys, don't look at necessarily like the numbers on the board right here, because some of them are like a little bit inaccurate. Like on most profiles, I see like Elijah Vera Tucker in the top 12, top 14. He's right here at 22. So just keep that in mind right there. It might be unpopular, but right here, I would go in between Devontae Smith and Elijah Vera Tucker. Here's why in Tucker, because he can play a very high level at any guard position and tackle. So you could try him out at tackle in first year, or potentially, if Sadiq Charles is that dude at left tackle, you could move Elijah Vera Tucker to guard, especially if you can't come to a long-term contract with Sheriff. So that's my take on it right there. What do you think at here? What would you do?
Well, first of all, Micah Parsons, the pick before ours, would kill me. Like, especially if we're at 19, we don't trade up for quarterback, and then I'm sitting in my chair like, okay, Micah Parsons is still available, and the Dolphins take him the pick before ours, I might throw something. But I would have to just take best player available in my opinion, even though wide receiver isn't a huge need. Devonta Smith just has so much talent. And when in doubt, he can compete for wide receiver 1 with Terry McLaurin if healthy. And Curtis Samuel as a third option is just unfair. And we go from having one of the weakest receiving cores to it being one of our team's strengths. And Ryan Fitzpatrick is willing to throw it to anybody. It could be good coverage. He's going to throw that one-on-one ball and let you make a play. So I would be excited about Devonta Smith. I also like Caleb Farley. I would love to move Kendall Fuller back into the slot, so to get another outside corner potentially would be great. And I agree with you with the Tucker, with how versatile he is. That's also a great pick. There's a lot of options here, honestly.
Yeah, so, a lot of people in the chat are saying Devontae Smith, so we'll go ahead and take him if he's there. So he's right there. And we'll go on with our second round pick right here.
Man, they just keep getting.
Is a good. Some good options.
Oh, it's a nice.
So, right out of Penn State or Jabril Cox. That is a very good, because we still need some tight end help, because Logan Thomas is great, but there's two things about our tight end situation. We have zero depth, and Logan Thomas is a free agent after this year. So that's two things going against the tight end position. So and Kerry, appreciate the $2 donation. Again, defense first, Smith is a dime a dozen. Yeah, he is small. And if Jeremiah Wissel-Koromoa was there, I would have taken him. Micah Parsons, like Rico said, if Micah Parsons was there at 19, 1000% take him. 1000%. So let's see. Okay. So I want a lot of people are split on this, whether it be tight end or linebacker. This is tough.
Jabril's been my guy. I mocked us getting him last draft before he transferred to LSU. I love Jabril, so that's of course me. But I super, like you said, with the tight end position, a lot of people don't think about the fact, like you said, that Logan Thomas, this is the last year of his deal. So if you're thinking about 2022 offseason, as of right now, Thaddeus Moss may be the only tight end on our roster right now. We're gonna have to re-sign Logan Thomas. He's probably gonna ask for a lot of money by then, because he's been playing very well. He plays like a tight end 1, and we still don't have a tight end 2. Jeremy Sprinkle, I forgot, went somewhere. And a lot of people didn't even want him to begin with. So the tight end position is very thin.
Yeah, it's tough. I probably would take Jabril Cox here. I don't know, just because our linebacker position is not great at the moment, but tight end wouldn't be bad too. What would you do?
Oh, I'm going Jabril. I just feel like, first of all, we had the number 2 defense last year. All we lost was Kevin Pierre-Louis and Ronald Darby Game, William Jackson. So I don't feel like the linebacker thing. It's a big need, but I feel like we found ways to work around it. We did it with Cole Holcomb and John Bostic starting, because we're basically in nickel 60% of the time or more anyway. But if you can get a Jabril Cox that could come in and cover, because this is a passing league now, not even just because quarterbacks are better, but the rules are literally catered to make coverage very difficult for corners, linebackers, everybody. So to get some, probably, you could argue Jabril Cox is the best coverage linebacker in the draft. Some people even consider him a slot corner. I would love to bring him in and just let him roam the bottom with Cameron Curl and Landon Collins, and then you have William Jackson shutting it down on one side, and Kendall Fuller, and potentially a free safety, maybe like a Trey Boston, Malik Hooker, or whoever we may draft in the draft, holding it down on the back end and things like that. And I would be really excited to see what this defense looks like that.
Yeah, and I mean, just think about it. Who on our linebacking core can cover? I mean, David Mayo, terrible in coverage. Cole Holcomb improved. He did improve.
Yeah,
Still not
improved.
great in coverage. And Bostic, not great in coverage at all. So Owusu Koromoa is a beast in coverage. He's not here, but he's the best coverage linebacker in the draft, in my opinion. Like, he is going to play. He can play like slot corner. He can play safety and linebacker. But I probably go Jabril Cox here. It is tough because we do need tight end help. So it'd be really tough, but I'm going to take Jabril Cox. I think he's the better player. But I do feel you guys. I know a lot of you guys are upset that we didn't take the tight end. And we'll see what tight end. Oh, look. No need to be upset. Look who's available at the first spot. No need to be upset, guys. No need to be upset. And yeah, it's going to be – I mean, Brevin Jordan, we'll see if he's here. He's probably going to be in that late second to mid-third round pick, right? You think?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. I don't think he'll necessarily make it to our third round pick. And plus, I'm more of a Tommy Tremble guy anyway, just off of potential. I feel like Brevin Jordan's safer. I feel like Tommy Tremble has a higher ceiling, just not a lot of film on him. But yeah, like I agree. I don't think Brevin Jordan's gonna make it to our third round pick because there's just not a lot of tight ends in this draft anyway. So if even like a handful of teams need tight ends, like the top 6 will be gone before our third round pick.
Who do you think is a better pass catcher? Brevin Jordan or Tremble?
It's all potential. I think today maybe Brevin Jordan, but Tommy Tremble is just you see in spurts of just he looks like potentially the best tight end in the class. They just didn't use him much. It's kind of like George Kittle back when he had CJ Beathard as his quarterback. It wasn't really George Kittle's fault that he was so bad and he slid to the 5th round because you saw it in spurts, but you didn't see him do it consistently. And then, we thought it was more so his fault. I mean, just because like you have these stats and it can't all be on the quarterback, but now we see how great George Kittle is at the NFL level. So if this were before George Kittle, I'd probably be team Brevin Jordan. But now that I've seen a George Kittle come out and be as great as he is, I'm a Tommy Tremble guy. Just like with Lance. If a Josh Allen ever came out, I wouldn't even be a Trey Lance guy because I wouldn't have seen the blueprint for how great a Trey Lance could potentially be. So it's the same thing. I'm Tommy Tremble, team Lance, because I've seen somebody take a guy similar in the draft and make it work very well.
Yeah, and Kerry Williamson, again, appreciate the $2 donation, said Thad Moss is a sleeper. And hey, yeah, I really hope he can, turn some heads this year in training camp. I mean, he didn't drop a single pass in college. You're looking for a pass catching tight end. He's also a solid blocker. So let's see if he put in the work this past year after his injury. I mean, the reason he didn't make the roster because of his injury, got put on IR before the season. So let's see. Hopefully he can bounce back and make the roster. I really hope so. And we'll see where he goes from there. So I think we're going to take a tight end here. I want to look at, and I appreciate the donation. I want to see what's the best. So best player available is Brevin Jordan. Javon Holland is available. I'm not taking him here because that's what I was saying about Pro Football Network. Like, it's a little unrealistic. He's going to go in the 2nd round probably, maybe even early. Who knows? So that's probably not. So if you see some players that are really good that I'm not taking, just keep that in mind, guys. So we'll go ahead. A lot of people in the chat want Brevin Jordan, so we'll listen to the chat. I like Jordan as well, so we'll go ahead and take him right there. See what we do. We're right here in that 3rd round with our 2nd third round pick. This is a tough one right here. I think. Oh, Davis Mills just got taken by the Bucks. Let's see what the quarterback situation is looking like here. Kellen Mond is still available. Kyle Trask, Jamie Newman. And then, I don't know. We haven't taken a tackle yet. And that is a big need for, like, personally, guys, what I think is going to happen, what I think is going to happen in the 1st round and what I've, heard from Ben Standig on his podcast, John Keim on his podcast. They're going to take a tackle in the first round if one of the top 4 are available. So if Slater, Penny Sewell, if Elijah Vera Tucker, who can play guard / tackle, if Darrisaw, if one of those are available, they're likely going to take him in the first round. They value the left tackle position more than us as fans. Like a lot of us, I mean, I'm fine with us going into the season with that same offensive line, but I think they definitely want to upgrade over Lucas, and you can't blame them because, you know, Lucas did have a good year, but you don't know. First, he's a free agent after this year. He's a little older, and who knows if this season was a little bit of, you know,
like a fluke, like he just had a really good year and then come back next year. I mean, because we thought Wes Martin may come and take the spot, and then he was terrible the next year.
And he also struggled with injuries too this year, Cornelius Lucas. He had a couple games he missed, and that was only like 8-9 games. And the thing is, left tackle, third most important position in football. Third most important position in football. So even if you have like an average or below average tackle that you're fine with, like going for that elite tackle is going to help you so much. So it's going to be, let's see. Philip, I appreciate the $5 donation. Idea for future video. Get some viewers to control a team and do a live draft. That's a good idea. We might, let's see. So are you saying like controlling other teams, like, or just the Washington football team? Let me know in the chat right now, but that is a very, very good idea. And yeah, we could go through a bunch of different scenarios and see what Washington ends up getting. But yeah, let me know in the comments down below. We could definitely, you know, get that ready before it could be a live stream, but we got to do it before the draft, and we got some time. Good idea, Philip. Armin Brown, appreciate the $5 donation. Do you guys see Chris Samuel potential with Darrisaw? I mean, I really like Darrisaw. I don't know if he has Chris Samuel potential, but I mean, he can play either tackle spot, and I really like him. I think he started, all 3 years at VTech, if I'm not mistaken. And if he's there at 19, I'm taking him. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, if we no trade up for quarterback, it's best player available. And I just don't think, I mean, even with the character concerns, I don't think Micah Parsons is gonna fall. I love JOK. I don't even believe he'll fall to 19 probably. And I could definitely see a Darrisaw make a lot of sense for 19, especially like you said, since they feel like they need to address tackle. And to have Cornelius Lucas as a backup swing tackle, that's excellent depth. That's top offensive line depth in NFL type of stuff. So I could definitely see that making sense.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, he's got really good potential. I think, you know, good character guy. He's from, I think he's either from Maryland or Virginia. He's from around here. He in an interview, he said he wants to be here. Really like his potential, good pass blocker and run blocker. If we got him at 19, I would personally like that. And Philip B, sounds good. We'll have to get that set up in the next couple of weeks. Maybe we do that the week before the draft, but that is a really good idea. That'll definitely be in a live stream though. So maybe like we'll do something like the first 30 people to come in here, we'll be able to control something like that. We'll figure that out, but that's a good idea. And we got another really, really good question here by AM Hunter. Okay, this is a good question. If Darrisaw, Devontae Smith, or Jeremiah Wusu-Koramoah are at 19, or I think he was saying like that would be a really good situation. Or no, he was just asking who would you take out of those three? Rico.
That's in a heartbeat. I'm taking JOK. I love JOK so much, and I feel like linebacker's a bigger need than those other ones. I feel like our receiving core will be good with who we have now, but of course we can upgrade it. Same thing with offensive line, like you said. If we go into the next season with the exact one we had last year, I think we'll be solid. But I mean, one injury happens it could all go into flames, especially if it's like left tackle or something like that. But JOK, he would be our best linebacker day one. I think immediately he would be our best coverage linebacker. He's going to help us against the run, major against the pass. So I would take JOK immediately. The only reason I may not is just the thought of, well, if we can get Darisaw this round and get Jabril Cox next round. But if JOK is available 19, I may not even want to risk it and just go ahead and get him right there.
I absolutely love Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah. The only kind of concern I have is not with the player, not with the character or anything, is with the fit with us. Just because of he is kind of that he can play will linebacker, but like a lot of people are seeing him as kind of a strong safety or an in the box kind of guy, and Cameron Curl is a strong safety. Landon Collins is a strong safety. So I don't know if you get three of those guys together, how that would work out. I think we all know probably Landon Collins is going to be gone after this season, but I just hopefully if their plan for him is just to play will linebacker, then definitely I think it would work out. He does, someone said, needs to put on some weight, and I agree. I think he measured in at 221, which I think in the season he was like 215, so he already put on some weight. If he can get in at that 225, 230 range to start the season, that would be good. And yeah, the thing is, if you take a tackle in the first round, there's going to be some really good linebackers available in that second round. Jabril Cox, Jamin Davis or Jamin Davis, not sure which way to pronounce it. Because I got a friend named James, Jamin, I got a friend named Jamin, so spelled the same. So I don't know which way it's pronounced, but he's a good fit too. At in that second round, there's also Baron Brownrigg, Pete Werner, both from Ohio State. So there's some good there's a lot of depth at the linebacker position, and even the offensive tackle position. I think though the linebacker class is a little bit more deep. That's just me though. So I think you got to head out right now. But is there anything you want to say real quick?
Well, first of all, Darius Leonard played at, I believe, 221 last season, and he plays middle linebacker. So, of course, I agree that JOK should gain some weight, but when in doubt, I think he'd be fine at will linebacker where he currently is. Like you also said, he gained weight since college. Since he was measured at the pro day, and we can expect him to gain even more weight once he hits the NFL level. So I think he'll be fine. I think he'll be just fine.
Yeah. So yeah, man, appreciate you coming on. I'm still gonna be streaming for a bit more, but Rico has got to go. Appreciate him for coming on again. Make sure you guys check out his channel. Doing really good, news videos right now, but also some great draft content as well. So make sure you guys check him out.
Thank you. Thanks for having me, man. Yeah, man. As always, man. If I'm free, I'm pulling up.
Appreciate it, man. Peace.
All right, man. Take care. Have a good stream, y'all.
See ya. So, guys, again, appreciate Rico for coming on. We'll be doing a little bit more before we finish the stream. But again, appreciate Rico for coming on. So let's go ahead and finish off this mock draft. So right here, well, this is tough. So we're picking at 82. The best player available. We got a guard from Georgia, Amari Rogers, Dylan Moses, Jackson Carlin. So in the chat, go ahead and put what you want. We could go quarterback too. We could go a quarterback as well. We got a lot of different options we could go here. Let's see what you guys have to say. Let's see. And yeah, guys, again, appreciate Rico for coming on because he always comes on in the stream and is great, provides great insight. So make sure you guys take him out or check him out. Hassan says, I think at this point we should take a QB or a receiver. Ben Cleveland is the mountain from Game of Thrones. QB. Well, DK, I think we're good at receiver because we just took Devontae Smith, and I mean he can really play anywhere. So I don't know. Hey, JS, I was taking Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah. Let's see. Mond at 82. Okay, we got to, you know what? We'll satisfy you guys. I probably wouldn't take Mond here, even though third round is probably his value. I still need to do some film on him, watch some film on him. We'll take Kellen Mond. I like Davis Mills more, but he was already taken. So we took Kellen Mond. Let's see. Okay. Best player available. Okay, right here. This is, I think you go safety here. The fourth round, Andre Cisco. Paulson Adebo probably not going to be here, so I'm not going to take him. He's probably going to go in the first 2-3 rounds. Let's see. What is the best safeties available? Let's see right here. Andre Cisco is probably the best safe. They got Sean Wade listed as safety here. So I think we take Cisco. Oh yeah, AM Hunters. I'm not doing trades, but we might have to do a trade back video. So let's go ahead and take Andre Cisco. Great safety. Safety is a position of need for us. Played at Syracuse last year, so I think it would fit a position of need. And I mean, this draft was good. We got a receiver, got a linebacker, got a tight end, got a developmental quarterback, and got a safety. So let's see. Do you guys want to do it? Do you guys want to do another mock draft? And if so, do you guys want to do it on the Pro Football Network, what we're doing it on right now, or the Draft Network? Let me know right there in the comments, in the comment down below. So just let me know real quick. Let's see. Yeah, astonishing. I watched the QB school on Davis Mills and Justin Fields. But yeah, I'm gonna watch some of his films soon. Let's see, another mock draft. Okay, so a couple people saying Draft Network, Draft Network. Okay, we're gonna do Draft Network, and we'll do a quick one right here. The good thing about Pro Football Network is that they allow you to do trades, but I like the Draft Network's big board a little bit more. But let's go ahead and take this. Let's do this. But yeah, I mean, if you guys want to watch some film and get some good breakdown of some quarterbacks, the QB School on YouTube is a great channel. Former quarterback in the NFL, and forgot his name, but he does some great breakdowns. So make sure you guys watch some of that. And yeah, so let's see what we're gonna do here. We'll go ahead and go through this. Ooh, oh, Micah Parsons almost available for us. Okay, I think this is a pretty easy choice right here in the first round. This is a pretty easy choice in the first round. Jeremiah Uso-Koromoa, a beast, one of my favorite prospects in this draft, and he's here at 19. I think he would fit us well. I will end up taking him right there. I don't even need to ask you guys because, I mean, I think that is probably the best player available. Yeah, I mean PFF is, I don't know, they just, so the only thing about PFF is they base off their board is based off their grades, which I understand, but I don't know, some of their grades are whack. Like I saw like Patrick Surtain got drafted in like the second or third round by the Eagles, something like that. So I don't know. Let's see. So right now we got some options right here. Let's go quarterback. Davis Mills is available. This is a second round. Keep in mind, linebacker Jabril Cox is available. Let's look at maybe tackle right here. Ooh, okay. Jalen Mayfield in the second would be really good. I really like Jalen Mayfield. He might be a like late first round guy. He might go in the late first round, but he might also go in that second round. So I would take Jalen Mayfield. And yeah, JT O'Sullivan, that's the guy, yeah. So I would probably take Jalen Mayfield from Michigan. Really good tackle. And that would be a perfect start to the draft in my opinion. I think that's what we do right there. So let's go ahead and take him and see where we go from there. See. All right. So they're going to be, Brevin Jordan. Let's see if he makes it. Oh, Brevin Jordan just got taken. Richie Grant. Is he going to be there? all that. This draft is turning out to be perfect so far. I don't think Richie Grant is gonna be here though. Like, but let's see, what is he rate? He's ranked a 66th player, so I probably have him a little higher. I mean, I probably have him, yeah, probably higher than that. But if he is somehow here with our first third round pick, I would 100% take him. There's no way I don't take Richie Grant with this pick. Um, there's no way I wouldn't take him. Let's look at some tight end options right here for us to go to. Hunter Long, Kenny Abua. There's not any really great tight end options right here. Hunter Long solid, but Tommy Trimble and Brevin Jordan both gone. Davis Mills still available. Still available. If he's available in that second, third round pick, I'll take him. But I mean, I think the pick right here is obvious. I mean, why would you not go Richie Grant? And I don't think it's extremely unrealistic. I think it is a little bit unrealistic, but who knows? He could be there in the late second round and Washington trade up for him. We'll take Richie Grant. And if Davis Mills is still here, I'm taking him in the third. I really, really like Davis Mills as a project. He's not ready to go yet. He's not ready to go yet, but if you give him a year or so, I think he could be a solid quarterback in the NFL, especially you sit him behind Ryan Fitzpatrick. I would personally be fine with that. And yeah, Armin, we have 2 third-rounders just because of the trade that we did with the 49ers for Trent Williams. I mean, linebacker also would be fine, but we did take Jeremiah Uso-Koromoa in the first, so let's see the linebackers. Let's see. There's not really any great linebackers I like. Dylan Moses, he had so much height, but he had a down year. So I think the move is Davis Mills here. I think Davis Mills is the move here. So I'm gonna go ahead and take Davis Mills. But this so far, this has been a great draft. We addressed the linebacker position, we addressed the tackle position, addressed the safety position, and got a developmental quarterback for us. I mean, so far, I couldn't ask for a better draft. Like some of these players that have fallen to us would be perfect. Kellen Mond is still here for them. Let's see the best player available, and we'll go from there. If there's any tight ends, Andre Cisco is available. We could take him, but we already took Richie Grant. Okay, keep my eye out for Jacoby Stevens. Yeah, we already took a safety, so I don't think I'm gonna take Cisco. But let's see. Let's look at any tight ends available. We could. Let's see. I want to see. Okay, Trey McKitty might be an option here. I know they have him ranked super low, but he is probably in that third, fourth round guy. So in that range. So, what do you guys think? What position should we go here, and what player do you guys like? Yeah, just let me know down below. I don't know. Mills has his moments. And obviously, there's time. I just think last year he was in a really bad situation. And a couple of those games that the QB school showed was his first game of the season where he didn't get to practice with the team at all. He didn't get to practice with the team at all. And because of COVID issues, and he just got thrown in there. So, obviously, got to get time, but I like Mills. Like Am Hunter said, good football. It has some good footwork and has some speed. Yeah, he has some good footwork and, really throws with anticipation, which is what you want in a quarterback. So, let's see. Wells is going to be in their 7th. Let's see. Wells. Pro Wells. TCU. Yeah, if he's there, we're only doing 4 rounds, but yeah, he could be a late round guy. So I'm gonna go ahead and take Trey McKitty, but I saw someone in the chat say it, and I do think maybe in that 5th round we might take a backup defensive end. Derek Allen said it. We might take a backup DN. Honestly, we got I mean, we have Chase Young, Montez Sweat, but if one of them gets hurt, or if they need like a breather, we need to have someone. And if Kerrigan wants to come back, then that's fine. We still probably need to add a guy 6th, 7th round. If not, maybe a 5th round guy would be good. But this, honestly, guys, I would be so happy if this was our draft. I mean, look at that. Jeremiah Uso-Koromoa, Jalen Mayfield, Richie Grant, Davis Mills, and Trey McKitty. I mean, it might not be amazing for you guys if you don't like Davis Mills, but besides that, it is amazing. I mean, the perfect draft almost fell to us. I mean, Owusu Koromoa fell a little bit. Jalen Mayfield fell a little bit. Richie Grant fell a lot. And we got Davis Mills in the 3rd, and then Trey McKitty in the 4th. So this is a solid draft right there. So, we'll answer some questions for a few minutes right now, and then we'll call it a stream in a few minutes. So any questions you guys have, any video suggestions you guys have, I saw Philip B's suggestion. That was a good one. But yeah, let me know. I probably won't be posting a video tomorrow just because, Final Four tomorrow. A lot of basketball tomorrow. But Sunday, we'll probably have a video up. Still not sure what it is. But let me know in the comments any video ideas you guys have and any questions or discussion points you guys have for me right now. Yeah, Chaz Surratt would be a really, really solid linebacker. I don't know what round would it be, maybe 2nd or 3rd round, but I am intrigued by him. Appreciate that. I mean, yeah, Jalen Mayfield definitely could be there. Um, the tackle class is definitely deep, and so is our linebacker class. William Rogers asked Mond or Mills. I mean, I can't really answer that because I haven't watched much of Mond, but I like Mills. I'll say that, but we'll see after watching film on Mond, maybe that changes a little bit. So we'll see that. Okay, a lot of people are asking for maybe we might do a little bit of prospect breakdowns, like going through obviously what they did in college, what their fit is in Washington, and maybe a little bit of film in there. So maybe we'll do that with Kelmond or any other video. So on my community tab, a poll or something, and I could do what I'm gonna start doing. I think that's someone asked. Asan said a video on the remaining tight ends, and I might do specific groups in the draft, like players at a certain position that I think we should target, like maybe like 3 or 4 tight ends that I think would fit well with Washington in the draft. We might do something like that. Linebackers, other players like that. So that's kind of a good idea, Asan. I mean, yeah, I guess astonishing. I mean, it really just depends on where some of these guys go. If Jamin Davis goes in the 1st, then yeah, I mean, some of those guys are going to get taken in the 2nd. But I mean, there's a lot of really good guys. Obviously, Micah Parsons, Owusu Koromoa, Zaven Collins, Nick Bolton, Jamin Davis, Jabril Cox. Who am I missing? Brownrigg, Pete Werner, Surratt. There's a lot of good guys. Prospect breakdown. That could be a good idea, Richard. So that's a good idea. Yeah, I'm gonna be doing a lot more draft content in the next couple of weeks, especially heading into the draft. And let me know in the comments right now. Are you guys fine with doing one mock a week, or is that too much? Put that in the chat right there. Because I was kind of doing like one mock every 2.5 weeks, but now that it's draft season, I might start doing once a week. See you, Philip B. Appreciate you for coming in. See you next week. But yeah, let me know if one too much. Is one per week too much, or is that fine? And we'll probably end the stream after that. Doggo said I would like Calamon. I mean, I got to do some more. I'll probably do that tonight, honestly. Zaven and Jabril are the better QBs. Yeah. Yeah, Surratt played QB, and I didn't know Jabril did, but so yeah. So again, guys, appreciate you guys for coming through. We had a very fun time today in the stream with Rico. Any questions you guys have in the next couple seconds, we'll go ahead and answer them. Appreciate that. Richard said, "As many as you want to do. I love them." Okay. Yes, we will do a trade back one, and maybe even a move up one. So again, guys, appreciate you for coming in. Thanks to Quavis, Hassan, Richard, Astonishing, Philip B. Let's go through the list. Am Hunter, Doggo. Let's go. Otis, Armin. So appreciate all you guys. William Rogers. Appreciate all you guys for coming in. Thanks for watching. We'll see you guys probably on Sunday with a video. And Liam said, is Washington still needing a receiver in the draft? I think if there's a prospect that, let's say they're in the third round and they have like a second round grade on a receiver, then I think that's the, time where they would take a receiver. But I don't necessarily think it's a necessity like some of these other positions are. But maybe you take a flyer on a mid-round guy. Terry from FSU is a good option too. So thanks for watching, guys, and peace.